Welcome to Creative Pages with Catherine. I'm Catherine, and it's time for the full project from my CM Creative Crew collaboration project using Creative Memories Hide and Eek collection, showing off our spiderweb frame that I used our Deckle Blade on, and my fun mats using our Creative Memories custom cutting system. It's such a time saver. You have to try it out. If you enjoy scrapbooking collections and creative layout ideas, please hit the subscribe button and ring the bell so you'll get notified when my next project drops. But in the meantime, let's get crafting and check it all out. My desk is a little bit busy this time because we are going to be putting together a super fun 2-page layout with the Hide and Eek collection. I also did pull out my Spiderwebs frame punch. I don't know if you all saw, but this punch has recently been half off. I will link it in the description box if you would like to grab one for yourself. The difference between our border punches and our frame punches is that they look basically the same in the box, and you do still have your black lines on either side of which way to load your paper to make a border. But in addition, we also have the silver line, which is where we can create a frame. And you do need even increments of 2 in order to create that frame. If you all would like to see a demo of the border versus the frame, please leave me a comment. I will be happy to put together a short for you all. But we are going to be using both of them on this layout. I have gone ahead and pre-punched. I also went ahead and pulled out my Deckle Blade for my 12-inch trimmer because this one is one of our edge punches, which means that it stays with the paper and you do need to cut it away from the paper for the purposes of this video. I did use my Deckle Blade along one edge, and this one is one of our borders. We're going to put borders along the top and bottom. Essentially, we're going to create an elongated frame. You can tell I really loved the idea of having all these frames on the layout on the base page. We're going to be using the same page on both sides. It's the one with all of the characters framed out. Kind of reminds me of like the Haunted Mansion at Disney. I don't know. I'm not the super biggest Disney person, but we have a green checkerboard pattern on the back. We have 2 borders that I cut at 1 1/4 from the top point of our spider web here using our Deckle Blade on the 12-inch trimmer. And then I have a third one I cut with our frame punch. So you can see we get 6 spider webs when we cut our border, but 5 when you cut your frame. And I'm just going to show you, I've already gone ahead and cut one end because I want it to be a little bit pointy. Grabbing my regular scissors here, and we're just going to follow the line of this edge spider web here and just create a point cutting off this end, because when we cut the frame you do get those little squares at each of the corners. So our other part is going to go here of our frame, and we're going to just, like I said, create an elongated frame. Now, as you might be able to see from my desk, I also did pull out our custom cutting system, and using my 13 by 13 mat, I did use the green, blue, and red blade. I will explain as we go along to cut mats for our photos. I pulled out our smaller rectangle. I pulled out our 2 medium-sized ovals. So it's the second smallest, second largest. And I also did pull out our largest circle because we have circles, rectangles, squares, ovals all through our frames on our page. And I thought, wouldn't it be fun if our mats mimicked some of that? Set those aside, and we're going to go ahead and start putting our layout together. Grab your repositionable tape and let's get this down. Repositionable tape is on, and so we are going to go ahead and start at the top and bottom. placing our web border. And we're just going to bring it in, coming into our page. I know a lot of people, I think, have used it maybe going out, but I wanted it going in. I just think it does. It helps create another frame on our page, and we are, like I said, I definitely took inspiration from this page, putting this layout together. We are going to center this in between on the left side there. Okay, you can kind of see where I'm going, right? We have our webs coming in. I am going to go ahead and get some regular tape runner going on my mats here. Okay, and I am going to actually start with this bottom right one. This is from our second largest oval. I used the blue blade on the outside. It essentially creates a 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 mat. We're going to go about 1/4 of an inch from the edge of the page. We want to be just above our peak of our web here. And then we're going to go ahead and place our rectangle. This one actually is a 4 by 6 mat. It almost looks like a corner rounder, but it's more of a than we would get with our regular corner rounder. I do have a layout with our Grateful Harvest collection that you can see I use the corner rounder on, and that one is on my channel. I will link it in the description box for all of you as well. So this one's going a little bit lower, just inside our webs again. And then we have our smaller oval. So it's the second smallest oval with the red blade on the outside. This essentially is a 3 1/2 by 5 inch oval. Oops. So between both sides of our layout, I do use just one of these smaller ovals. I use 3 of our rectangles, 2 of our larger ovals, and 3 of our circles. I used the largest custom cutting system circle with I used the largest custom cutting system circle with the green blade on the inside. This one is going up here, and this one is going a little bit up here. And let's get our stickers going. I do have a few stickers. I also have an extra web I cut when I did my bat page. That was my little bat in a cage, I guess if you will, my paper crafted bat for Halloween. This is going to tuck under our larger oval down here. Just thought this was kind of fun with the little Dracula here. We are going to add a bat next to him on the web, or caught in the web. We're going to go ahead and get a couple of foam squares going. I've got my foam tape as well. And we're probably going to need our 2 cut ones here. Oops, if I can get this one to cooperate here. So I have one that's I cut straight and one that I cut at an angle, and I think they're both going to work on here just fine. This one is coming in this way. So just a little bat hanging out next to the Dracula here on the web. We also have this little skeleton cat that we're going to pop up as well. We can just use one of the larger ones on that one. And you see there's a little skeleton cat right here. Oh, you know what? Let me get my powder tool. I'm going to try to Put my backing back on my foam square so I can use my powder tool over here on my mat, just to make sure we don't get any sticky going onto our photo when we add our photos to our page. Let's just get that taken care of right now with the powder tool. Pull that back off, put our little cat on top of the cat that's here. So popping that up brings back in some of our frames that we have down here. I also have this Boo Bash sticker as well. And I think it might be fun to even pop up some of your photos when you put them onto your pieces that we cut here. You are going to need to use your next smaller blade when you're cutting your photos, just so that way you know how much to frame them out a little bit. But definitely you can cut those with your custom cutting system blades as well. And I think wouldn't that look super cute if you pop those up just like we're popping up some of these photos and other elements on the page as well. This one's going to hang out here in this corner. And I used my foam tape for that. I will link a source for foam tape in the description box because Creative Memories has run out of foam tape and is no longer carrying it. Let's get another larger foam square for our mummy photo. I had to double check which one I had for this side. We had one of each in our sticker pack, and we are using them all between the two pages here. Get that stick off again using my powder tool. And this one is going right here on this mummy right here, in between our other photos as well. Okay. So that's it for the left side of our page. Clean this up a little bit. I'm going to hold this up so you all can see up close how that looks. I hope you love it as much as I do. Here is the right side of our page using the same base that we used on the other side of the page. I did shake off my border mat so I could get that little bit of extra powder that we had on there off because I wanted to use my repositionable tape on my spider webs again. Here we go. We're going to get this other one at the top again. I cut these at 1 1/4 from the point of the spider web. And I forgot to mention on the other side that I did use our black shimmer paper when I cut my webs. If you want to see what the black shimmer looks like with a little bit of white shimmer highlighting it, I do also show that a little more in depth in my back page video as well. And I show it against different papers as well as cardstock with the layering of the black and white. Again, that one is also linked in the description box. Oops, I need to bring that down just a hair, don't I? Thought I had it lined up nicely. Okay, that looks pretty good for that side. And now for this side, we have, again, I'm going to start with my largest oval, or second largest oval, blue blade on the outside, again, about 1/4 inch in. We want to make sure it's just above our web down here in the bottom, creating a 4 1/4 by 6 1/4 mat. And then I have my rectangle with the green blade on the outside, the smaller rectangle here. Again, getting framed out by our web a bit here. Finally, another one of our smaller rectangle mats. It winds up being 4 by 6. It is with the green blade on the outside as well. And get that lined up nicely here. Okay. And then we have one final circle, which was from the largest circle with the green blade on the inside. And I'm not going to push this one down just yet because I want to bring in my other side of my page because I kind of wanted the circles to run through the page a bit. They're not going to be completely linear going across, but it's going to be close. That actually is pretty good, I think. There we go. Okay, let's get our stickers on this side of the page. We have one of the witches. We have our Drac. We have Frankenstein, and then we have our other bat as well. We're going to put foam squares on all of these, and then I'm going to use my powder tool, and I'll be back with y'all in just a moment to show the placement. Foam squares, foam tape is on. Our stickers are ready for us. We are going up in the top here with this Dracula sticker. It's going to go just a little bit over the edge of our mat, ever so slightly, because we are going to add our other bat to the corner right by him again. Just thought it was kind of a fun nod to the Dracula turning into a vampire bat. This is coming out from the corner here. And then we have our witch sticker. She's coming right in here. And finally, our Frankenstein is going right here on this edge. Bringing back in both of my pages together. Oh, I forgot to hold this one up for y'all. Hang on. Here we go. Here is the close-up of the right side of our page. And you can see just how those stickers just kind of pop out at you just a little bit more. I just kind of thought that adds to the little Halloween theme we have going on here with our Hide Eek collection. Thank you again so much for joining me today for this fun Halloween layout. If you would like some more inspiration for your scrapbooking layouts, please hit the subscribe button and join me again. I will see you all next time.